don't know how many videos I'm gonna do today. I really don't have a clue, but all right, we're all, I guess, we call ourselves sinners. You can call yourself whatever you want. We're imperfectly perfect, okay? But we shouldn't be judging and trying to let's say, condemn people or put curses on them. Your tongue is a double-edged sword. You speak life or you speak death. So I'm trying really hard to not condemn anyone, really. We're supposed to love each other, period. And I just have a word about sex, okay? Sex is supposed to be a sacred union, and it's like a spiritual thing. It's a soul tie when you have sex with somebody, okay? You are connecting with another soul, another spirit, in the flesh too, so you got to be mindful of that, because first of all, a marriage is a sacred union between God Almighty and a husband and a wife. Yes, a husband and a wife, a man and a woman, and that is a sacred union, and that's supposed to mean something. And if that is not honored, that is hurting somebody, obviously, right? You're not supposed to do any sin. Sin is considered something that hurts someone else. When you hurt someone else and you do not honor a vow between a husband and wife, that is devastating. That is like betrayal and adultery, infidelity. It's not cool. Okay, let's think of it this way, okay? It's a sacred union from heaven, okay? So if you give your body to somebody else and you're a married person, you broke that vow with God and your spouse. So when you do that, it's not cool. It's not. That's the one sin. And then like watching porn and being lustful and feeling that Jezebel spirit of lust, women shouldn't seduce men who are married to leave their wives and put them above their wives. And it's unfortunate when that does happen, because it really does hurt. It really does. And I'm not perfect either. When my husband pursued somebody else before, I think I kind of wanted to get back at him. I wanted revenge on him. I wanted to make him feel what he did to me. I wanted to do it back to him, but I don't feel that way anymore. But if it's not going to be a sacred union that's honored, then you shouldn't be together. You and your wife or your husband, you shouldn't be together if you're going to be sleeping with other people. And you're a husband or wife, if you're going to be sleeping with other people, it breaks the vow. You know what I mean? It's null and void. It doesn't even matter. If you put somebody above your husband or wife and God, then you're in the wrong. Think of sex as something that, your soul bonds with another person, your spirit, your body, and let's try to think of that as something of love, not something of filth that, that it's just all about the pleasure and you don't care who you do it with and you're just with whoever you want to be with and all over the place with many and just, like the polyamorous, God flooded the earth back. That's what the day of Noah was. He flooded the earth and, started over because he despises that. He hates that. That's one sin, even worse than killing someone, that he says, flee from that one, the immoral sexual sin. Flee from that. Run from that. yeah, that's going against God. That's not treating your body like a temple, and you're just connecting yourself with other people, and it's not supposed to be a lustful thing. It's supposed to be a beautiful thing between a husband and wife, and if that's not honored, then it's very hurtful, and it's wrong. It's wrong. So, that's one sin that God destroyed the earth for, flooded it. He promised He won't flood it again, but that doesn't mean He won't condemn people to hell for continuing in that sin. And if you've been delivered from that, and then you go back to it, the demonic spirits or the bad spirits that get attached to you, they're worse each time. And it's harder to get away from that sin. Every time God delivers you from it, and then you keep going back to it, it's worse every single time. Worse and worse and worse. So those demonic spirits are tormenting you, and they're leading you towards what God despises and hates. And, I feel for you all, just try to get away from that and think of it as a sacred union that matters. Do you love that person? Is it of love and passion of love, or is it lustful and just all about the pleasure and just oh, let me touch you? Women are supposed to be respected. We're not just objects that you get to play with and lustfully have sex with because you like to pleasure yourself and like to gawk and that's just disgusting. That's not having self-control. That's not having self-respect for yourself or self-love. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And it's against God. And it makes it filthy and nasty, and it's not honorable by any means. It's disgusting. I despise it too. I hate it. Ruined my life for a long time. So keep that in mind. Don't have sex with just anybody. Don't get to know somebody. See if that's somebody you want to be attached to forever, for the rest of your life. Because that's a sacred union, period. And when somebody interferes with that, you have consequences. So between a sacred union, a divine union of marriage, you put a spell on somebody else's husband to steal them away. Have that man for yourself instead of him treating his marriage like a sacred union. Yeah, that's not cool. And you will suffer consequences. And I'm not going to suffer for everybody else's sin of lust and never have my day of heaven on earth or heaven, period, because I just let you all walk all over me and let me be your sacrifice for you being evil and wicked and wishing me harm and causing me as much harm as you can, and laughing and boasting about it while you're hurting me and thinking that you're a big bad, so proud of yourself for hurting me, and you think it's funny, and you just try to be as mean as you possibly can and make sure when I confront you instead of admitting it and taking accountability for it, abuse me more and just yell and scream at me and put me down and call me all sorts of names, and then try to condemn me because you won't admit what you're doing. That's a coward, and that is wrong, and that's wicked. To get enjoyment out of hurting your own spouse, your wife. And I won't be second best. I won't be somebody's lifeline while they're betraying me and cheating on me as often as they can, with as many as they can. I don't approve. So stop being Jonahs, run to God and ask to be delivered from that, and then stay away from it. Run from it, stay away from it.